Rosie, I'm going to make you my mum's special magic cake. It is delicious, and she would always make it on special occasions when I was a good boy. You know, that was special. It was something to be celebrated and really easy to do.
Can't wait.
Now, it starts with some eggs, and I'll just take these eggs out of the packet here, and I'm going to pop... This is what I do when I'm, cooking. I put the eggs that I'm going to actually break into the flour here, and that way I resist the temptation of putting the dirty eggshells back into here.
I was going to say something.
Exactly.
Good
Pop them
little
in
tip.
there. It is, it is. Now, you grab those eggs. Now, what we want to do is put the yolks into this bowl and the whites into the other bowl. So that's sort of... And the way I do it, it's the easiest way with the shells back and forward like that, making sure you get all the whites into the bowl. You've got to make sure you don't get any yolk in with the egg whites because that will stop it from whisking up and being nice and fluffy. And that comes out like that. And you can tell these are gorgeous eggs because they're nice and yellow and they've been eating lots of lovely bits of grass. And now if you put the yolk into there, we'll separate them up now. And you've got the yolks here and you've got a whisk in front of you. The 6 yolks are in there and I've got 1 1/4 cups of icing sugar. You're going to stir that around and whisk it till it becomes nice and smooth and creamy.
Okey-dokey.
While you're doing that, I've got a whisk here with my egg whites. I'm going to whisk these up till they're nice and fluffy and smooth. And by the time they've done that, we should be able to bring it all together. Perfect. My whites are nice and fluffy and the yolks and the icing sugar have come together. Keep the whisk in there, Rosie, because you're going to keep on going.
Not done yet.
A nice little teaspoon of vanilla paste there. This is really concentrated, so you don't need a lot of it. It's got plenty of flavour in it. And I've got some butter, 1/2 cup of melted butter, and I want you to stir that round nice and gently.
I knew this was going to be in your special occasion. We needed a bit of butter in there.
It's tasting really good and looking really good, and it will taste beautiful. Now, Rosie, if you pour 2 cups of milk in there for me, and I'll just stir this around. And we've got one of these lovely jugs with the markings on it. It makes it so easy.
It does. Look, you can do a certain amount with your eyes, but sometimes you do need to measure.
And I just whisk that in. You can see it's coming up.
Oh, I can see the lovely vanilla flecks in there as well.
And you can smell it too. It's really, really strong. You don't need a lot of it to get a lot of flavour out of it. Now, I've got some flour. This is plain flour. About 1 cup of flour goes straight in there. And I whisk that around till it all starts to come together. The batter should be really, really thin like that. Now, the egg whites, I just pour that straight in there and stir it around with the whisk, Rosie. Now, normally we would fold the egg whites through till it becomes nice and fluffy. But with this cake, you want to see it sort of broken and eggy sort of on the top. That's what you want. You don't have to mix the egg white all the way through.
Really simple.
It is really simple. And you can imagine if you're cooking with kids, this is a really, really easy one to put together because the whisking of it will burn out all their energy. Now, baking paper is essential. And I push it down to the corners here like this. And then with my scissors, Rosie, I just cut the corners like this. You need a nice sharp pair of scissors to make sure it folds really well.
Good tip.
You like that? Or you could just scrunch it up and put it in there, but I like to keep it nice and neat. So pour that straight into there like that. Beautiful. It looks nice and fluffy and airy and smells great. Always have a rubber spatula handy so you can just scrape out every last little bit. Now, Rosie, this is going to go into the oven at 160 degrees Celsius. I've preheated that oven. It'll cook for 50 minutes. I'll take it out, pop it into the fridge and let it cool right down, and then we'll serve it up.
Right.
Delicious. Looks great, doesn't it?
So simple. I've been thinking whilst it was in the oven, did your mum realise when she started you off this simple cake recipe, the little protégé that she was about to have on her hands?
I tell you what, she didn't call me a protégé when I was a young boy. She called me lots of other things. Now, I'll just peel off the outside there. I'll just cut a slice off this one. And this is a little piece. I love the little pieces on the edge. But if I see that there, I'll cut this slice and I'll just pop that little piece on top there so you can see the actual...
It is magic.
The custard on the bottom. The middle layer is a little bit thinner, and then you've got the fluffy one on the top there. So all 3 in one piece there. Now, I would just get it like this and just take off pieces of it and just chuck into it. It's delicious. But we're going to make it nice and pretty. I'll get some sour cream on the top there.
I can't wait for my taste. Oh.
I'm going to make this beautiful for you, Rosie. Some strawberries on there as well. This is a real chefy way of doing it. You know, you've got a great piece of dessert like this, or you've got a cake you can pop in your lunchbox and take it to school or work or wherever you want to take it.
I can't believe how simple, but it's got the wow factor.
It has, isn't
You're
it?
a chef, you're a magician. Real magic.
This is the magic part here. Look at that. The icing sugar goes on top, and you make a simple cake like this. Look, $1 million like that, you probably charge a fortune for it in a restaurant. Rosie, let's suck into that.
I want to. This is fascinating.
Just simple.
Oh, I just want the sponge.
Now, the trick is to let it cool down for at least 2 hours, but even better is overnight. You know, if it sits in the fridge, it really settles down and...
It's like a 2-for-1 cake. You've got the custard, you've got the sponge in there as well. Well done, you little magician.
Throw some sour cream on there and some berries, and it is a fantastic dessert. Well done.
Nice.
Very special indeed.